Hi, this is Jay Kim from Jay Kim Counselling and Psychotherapy Services. It's been 10 weeks since we've been quarantined in Toronto. Many people around me and my clients seem to struggle, feeling groggy, feeling depressed and so on. Well, I am struggling as well. It's hard, to be honest. So, what's happening to us? Let me explain this briefly. When we were initially quarantined, I believe everyone was handling this fairly well, despite that we never had this kind of situation before. We came up with a lot of different ideas to overcome the boredom of staying at home all day, such as taking yoga lessons over video chat, learning how to paint, how to bake, playing the video games with others. Personally, I made a goal to do webcomic again on social media, and I bought this tablet, which I don't use as much as I hoped. And it's been 10 weeks. We slowly start to feel all these activities that we do at home are not as fun. All the exciting quarantine to-do list isn't very exciting anymore. Well, instead it just stresses us out more. And ironically, we feel like we have more time, but we have less energy. And then we are trapped with this thought. When is this thing going to end? Let me explain why this is happening. Besides being socially isolated, there are other reasons as well. First, we are bored, which might sound, duh, but actually it's very true. As quarantine continues, we eventually run out of things that we can do at home. Even if it's exciting and new at first, we continue to do this every day and we get sick of it. Then we start to think the only way to solve this issue, boredom, is go back to how things were. And we start to go through the stage of grief and loss, fixating on thinking about our lives before quarantine. And secondly, we are tired and our energy level is low. I wonder many of us think that we have more free time since we are quarantined and therefore we should do more things. But we also have more time because we have less time and opportunity to de-stress ourselves as well. As the outlet to release stress decreases, our energy level gradually goes down as well, which makes us feel groggy, tired, and sleepy. So ironically, we have more time, but we have less energy to do things. By the way, if you've been taking this quarantine period as an opportunity to exercise, claim you have more energy than before, well, then you're a rock star. I usually describe being quarantined as being in a spaceship. We temporarily left Earth to keep ourselves safe. We'll go back to Earth. We just don't know when at the moment. At first, it was strange and new, and we may say things like, wow, look at the Earth, how beautiful it is. And then as time goes, we start to feel desperate to go back, and we just try to find what's the best way to go back there as soon as possible. So, what are some of the things we can consider to take care of our mental health during quarantine, aka space travel? We need to change our set expectations for ourselves. In space, gravity is different, the air is different, and stress management is also different. If you feel you're overwhelmed by your own to-do list during this quarantine, I think it's wise to review the list and reduce your own expectations. As I mentioned before, it's not the matter of how much time we have, but it's rather how much stress we are currently dealing with. Secondly, if we are fixated on the idea of when the quarantine ends, then it becomes a painful waiting game. It's important to continue creating positive distractions, and if it helps, try to set your own deadline, such as how long am I willing to wait for the quarantine to be over? Mark that date on your calendar, and then find a positive distraction that you can do until then. Lastly, it's important to recognize that being quarantined is hard. It's not a bad thing to admit that we are struggling emotionally. Rather than saying, why is this so difficult? How about trying to say, of course it's difficult. I need to be easy on myself. We now hear that things will start to change next week. Hopefully we get to enjoy the patio and sunny weather soon. Until then, let's take care of ourselves and stay safe. And thanks for watching.